want to also plead with you to take our felicitations to His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want you to please thank him. Thank him for his courage. Thank him for his sacrifices. Some people may not understand. It takes a man with courage to do what he did in 2023. He removed petroleum subsidy and followed suit with the floating of the naira.
This is a very insensitive statement coming from Governor Alex Otti of Abia State. What are Nigerians going to thank Tinubu for exactly? For making their lives worse? Did Alex Otti make this statement just to please Remi Tinubu, who donated 2 billion naira to them? Even at that, he owes it a duty as the governor of Abia State, as a leader of his people, to tell leaders the truth. If he had said the opposite, he would have sent a good message to Tinubu to think twice before going to another state to donate billions, expecting to be endorsed. Alex Otti also talked about having written about everything Tinubu is doing, that he has supported it in the past, starting from around 2016 or thereabout. The reality remains that Nigerian intellectuals must understand that the way Tinubu is doing what he's doing is not working. This is the hard reality they must accept. It doesn't matter whether you support reforms or not, whether it's a must that Nigeria must stop paying for petroleum subsidy and other subsidies. The stark reality remains that it is not working. Why is it difficult for people to understand this? It's a different thing when you theorize issues. How about the practicality? Is it working? That's the question. When you say this is the way we are supposed to be going, that we are not supposed to be paying petroleum subsidy, power subsidy, high impulse rates, many things, that we're not supposed to be doing this, what else do you expect Nigerians to do? Because all the ones they are doing are not working. Are we not supposed to be progressing? We are supposed to be doing things that work, that give Nigerians value. If these things are not working, how do you insist that we must continue doing it? It does not make any sense at all. Is it because we are talking about Nigeria as a country? If it were to be someone's business, will anyone owning that business continue to repeat the same thing when he knows it is not working? It doesn't make any sense how they insist we must do something that is not working. Not saying that these reforms are not necessary. The reforms are necessary, but it must come with a human face. Anyone that is not working or having an adverse effect when it's supposed to be growing Nigeria's economy must be immediately dropped. This is how it's supposed to be. When you say you are reforming the petroleum sector and as a result you removed petroleum subsidy, meanwhile the NNPC the past few years spent trillions of naira just for securing of pipelines, an amount that is equivalent to how much Muhammadu Buhari spent for several years paying for petroleum subsidy just to keep the pump price at 185 naira per litre. Looking at the two, which one will you choose? Nearly 100% of Nigerians will choose the Muhammadu Buhari regime without thinking twice. It doesn't make any sense. You claim that petroleum subsidy is a waste, that we shouldn't be spending these trillions on consumption. Here we are, you have removed that petroleum subsidy, but instead of diverting that money to where it would benefit Nigerians, NNPC is busy squandering the money. So they are only deceiving themselves, they can't deceive Nigerians. They know how reliant Nigeria's economy is on petrol. There is no 24-hour power supply to power that productivity. Many factories and SMEs depend on petrol and diesel to power their operations. When you force them to pay more than 1,000 naira per litre for diesel or petrol, how will the economy grow? The energy is already very, very expensive, more expensive than Western countries. So where are they going to drive that growth from? So any reform that doesn't improve the lives of Nigerians is a failed reform. Whether in theory it's supposed to work, but the most important thing now is that it is not working. All the financial institutions that lend them money, the World Bank, the IMF, they've been saying it, that poverty has increased in Nigeria, that it is now more than they met it when they came to power. So there is no hiding the fact that Nigerians are worse off than when they came to power. And what's the purpose of getting to power? It is to improve the overall well-being of the people. If they haven't achieved that, there is nothing, absolutely nothing to thank Tinubu for. So Alex Otti must not join these people in trying to get on the wrong books of Nigerians. Whether it is because of politics or anything, he must endeavor to call a spade a spade. When it is very obvious that these people were in a hurry to implement these failed policies because he wanted to get on the good books of the foreigners so as to have that validation also for his own interest, because he knew he was going to seek loans from these people, and these loans always come with conditions. Part of the conditions are to devalue your own currency, and practically everything he did when he came to power. It was on this devaluation that he showed his lack of understanding of how to build an economy. How do you devalue your currency when you are not productive? It will end up hurting you the more. Your economy is a non-productive one, they are struggling to be productive, and you go ahead to devalue the currency. No, that's a wrong timing. This is why Nigerians are suffering today. Before he came to power, there was already a low purchasing power. Now that he has devalued the naira, he has plunged more people into poverty. Also, the devaluation of the naira caused many companies to abandon and exit the Nigerian market, leading to thousands of lost jobs. Who is going to replace these people? Which companies are coming in to replace the companies that left? So these are all the problems. And by devaluing the currency, he didn't understand the effects of Nigerian debt. That's the foreign debt. That's why when you talk about the debts today, they are in trillions because of the devaluation. A few years ago, most of these debts wouldn't be up to 5 trillion naira, but today they are in the tens and hundreds of trillions. By devaluing the naira by more than 300%, that means when you want to service a dollar-denominated debt, you need as much as 300% of the equivalent in naira in order to do that. Where is all that money going to come from? Despite shouting and bragging that they have increased the IGR, they are still not able to service the debt. They still resort to borrowing. So it shows that it was wrong to devalue the naira in the first place. And it's not as if they don't understand all this. They can see that it is not working. But because of their massive ego, they don't want to accept that they were ever wrong. They continue to force everyone to believe that it is going to work out when it is obvious that it is not working. This is where it is very hard to defend it. So Alex Otti must not join in defending this. It's easy to say, I know this will work as an economist, as this is supposed to work. We're not supposed to be subsidizing consumption and all that. But you still have to face the reality that what Tinubu is doing is not working. So be a man and criticize it, not tell Nigerians to thank him. Thank him for what? For impoverishing them, for increasing the cost of living, for practically making everything in Nigeria very difficult at this time. Never mind the narrative that governors and states are receiving more FAC allocation than ever before in Nigeria's history. That's a huge lie ever said. Do you know that in dollar terms, Nigerian governors and states are actually receiving less money compared to under Muhammad Buhari? Look at the dollar value of the money they are receiving today. How much was a kilometer of road? All the states that award road contracts, they know how much contractors collect per kilometer of road. How much is it today compared to under Muhammad Buhari? So these are the issues. He devalued the naira without thinking about it, without knowing anything about the economy. We are all suffering it today. Anyway, Alex Otti seems to have backtracked on his support for Tinubu after the backlash that followed his comments that Nigerians should be thanking Tinubu for the reforms. Let's take a listen.
The 5 governors in the southeast have resolved to re-elect President Bola Tinubu. So I want to know if you are part of this resolve, and whether you, succinctly put, whether you are going to ensure that the president is going to be re-elected in 2027. Thank you.
Nena, you said that the governor of Imo State said something about re-electing the president. Well, I'm not sure I've heard that, but if he said that, it is his right to say it as a governor and as an individual. But he can't speak for everybody. I'm sure that at the appropriate time, people will take their decision. I think it's still early days.
This wonder shall never end. Yes, so yes, Nigeria though the ban Alex Otti concerning the statement we make when he said that Nigeria should support some of the Tinubu reform. You understand? So I don't understand. So Nigeria refers to Nigeria don't want to hear any concerning Tinubu. Anybody who wants to support Tinubu, Nigeria don't want to hear. They don't want to hear at all. You understand? Because come to think about it, where this man do? There's no good thing where this man do. Where this man do? You understand? In terms of economy, nothing. You understand? Nothing they work for this country. No, so anybody will support this, anybody will support Tinubu, you know, say they be the same, and on the same room, they tie them. You understand? So for me, Alex Otti, so I believe say what he talk, you understand? What he talk. What he talk, he said, Nigeria support some politics, you understand? Not be Nigeria to support Tinubu to become the president of Nigeria again, you understand? So, well, when I listen to Nen Media, so what is your opinion? Let us know in the comment section. Wonderful sugar boy.